All right.
I love the tournament they do for Vermont.
That is nice.
That's all you do. So the one thing though that I know if you ever do this and I'm not here, right?
Yeah.
Is when you plug all this in and start broadcasting, you'll notice there's no camera. You just gotta double click the camera right here,
Okay.
and this will pop up. This device, it's UBS or USB. Sorry, but sometimes you just gotta like wake it up and actually go to integrated and then go back.
Okay.
So as long as the USB.
All right.
Okay. Alright, are you guys muted?
What?
Are you guys muted?
Hello. Hello.
A lot better.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello. Can you hear me right?
I can.
Through the mic?
Oh yeah.
How about now? There we go. That's a bit better. That's a bit better.
Took out a lot of the background noise.
It did. I think we just had to turn it down a bit. My thing was way up. My headset setting was wrong.
Yeah, that sounds a lot better.
Perfect. Turn that down just a tad. Perfect.
All right.
All right.
I mean a little.
A bit, but not through like your headphones.
And the second we start talking, you don't really hear any of it. So
Yeah, we should. Well, the goal is to talk for the entire game. So
yeah.
Because I'm talking and I can't hear me in the podcast.
that's what we want. Perfect. And we are back with the first Cub home football game of the season. My name is Aiden London, joined by
Ryan Whip.
and we got a great day for football today, ladies and gentlemen. It's approximately 81 degrees, about 4 minutes before kickoff. The drum line and band just played the national anthem, and my oh my, am I ready for Cub football? How about you, Ryan?
Oh man, I'm excited to be here. Hazel Park taking on one of our biggest rivals. It's ought to be a fun game here tonight.
I know it's always a tough game in the Catholic League. No wins are free. Now, last time CC came to play at Hazel Park, it was a tight game. U of D was up big in the first half, could not close out the second half. What's one thing you think this Cub team needs to work on to beat this CC team?
Definitely going to have to focus on the run game. Establishing a good run game always sets up your offense strong for the rest of the game. You know, the better you run the ball, the more it opens up the pass game. And I think for sure if they can dominate the ground, they'll have a good chance to win this game.
Now, U of D is set to return the opening kickoff. Austin Enix and Elijah Dotson set to return. Both guys track stars in their own suit. You guys better be ready to see them fly unless they take it for a kick. Touchback, excuse me. Sun right in the middle of the sky, about at the 50-yard line. Starting to set, but we still got plenty of sunlight, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Jake Madigan is set to kick off for the Shamrocks for Novi Catholic Central. A little bit of a delay to start the game. Teams seem to be getting set, taking their time. Both the Shamrock faithful and Cub faithful were out tonight. And the kick is off. Enix calls for, he takes it up the middle, the 15 at the 20, 25 tackled at about the 27-yard line. Cub offense led by Anwar will take over now.
Not a bad return to start the game there.
Now, Anwar Carter, a junior, in his first season as starting QB, has had a few struggles to this point, but looks to turn it around at his first home game. Obviously, student section in full force tonight, as it always is. Very exciting. I believe Anwar is as excited as ever to play in front of his home fans. Anwar joined in the backfield by Nick Johnson. Gelman and Enix to his left. Two men to his right. Seems to be a little bit of a discrepancy at the offensive line. Referee trying to explain something. Anwar Carter to take the snap, shotgun formation. Nick Johnson obviously in the backfield with him. Anwar hands Johnson breaks a tackle and falls forward. Gain of 10 on the first play. Man, he parted the Red Seas there. Offensive line with a great push to start this game against this infamously good CC defensive line. You like to see that, Ryan?
That's exactly what they need to do. Keep running the ball up the middle. The more the O-line can help give those holes to Nick Johnson, the more he hits those holes. It's really going to help this Cub offense move down the field.
DC now in the backfield and Nick Johnson, two tailback set. Anwar, two men to his left, one man to his right, no tight ends. Carter drops back, looks to fire, rolls to his left, right, fires, and incomplete. Looks for Enix, had nothing, overthrew him by a bit. What do you think about that, Ryan?
Well, good job by him getting out of the pocket, looking to improvise. Throw, obviously it wasn't perfect, but better than a pick, better than a sack.
Yeah, Anwar, not the tallest guy, but he could get out of the pocket when he needs to. Offensive line for U of D this year has been a little inconsistent, but they've shown some good push to start this game. Anwar joined in the backfield by Nick Johnson. Three men to his left, one man to his right. and gets the Shamrock defensive line to jump. Great discipline by the U of D offensive line. Way to get CC to bite. That's a free 5 yards. U of D loves that.
Yeah, that's a great job there by the O-line, not moving. Sometimes, up front it can be rough. It can be tough to stay disciplined, but great job there by the O-line.
Now you love to see those tricky counts earlier in the game, get those free yards, make that second down a little bit easier.
Gives the offense a lot of work with here, a lot of plays they could run here on second and short.
Shamrock showing blitz. And Warren's shotgun formation, takes a snap, hands off to Johnson up the middle. Johnson cuts and falls forward for about a gain of 4 on that play. It'll be 3rd and 1. Johnson had a little bit of a hole, but the Shamrock linebacking core was ready for him.
Yeah, good cut back there. It looked like he might have got stuck in the backfield, able to cut back and make something out of nothing. Sets up a nice 3rd and short here for the Cubs offense.
And where Carter coming off the field, it appears that they're going to run a wildcat formation with Jack Boris now, number 3, senior captain for this team. He generally plays linebacker, but you do like to see a nice creative call play on a 3rd and short here.
Well, Aiden, I was thinking of saying the same thing. I was going to ask you what you thought of a interesting, tricky play call here early in the game. It's see how it goes.
Carter back. Trickery did not seem to do anything. Hands it off to Folks up the middle, and we'll see where they place the ball. I think he got it, and he did. Folks, obviously a big guy, low center of gravity, was able to fall forwards for the first down. You love to see that.
Yeah, great job getting the first down there. Didn't really have much to work with, but keeps this drive alive. Cubs get a new set of downs.
Folks is a guy you love to see in those short yardage situations. Just a big guy who's a guaranteed 1-2 yards. Johnson in the backfield, or Carter in the backfield, joined by Johnson. Puts Enix in motion. Takes a snap, looks to pass, pressured, and he is brought down by number 84 for the Shamrocks, Mr. Kyle Roberts.
Yeah, tough break there for the quarterback. Edge rusher got right past the tackle, straight into the backfield. Not much you can do in that situation.
Yeah, obviously the left side of the offensive line has been a big struggle for U of D this season. Struggled to prove consistency, and it shows again there. Now 2nd and very long for the Cubs. Carter has to drop quite the play to get his men into at least field goal position. Carter drops back, looks to fire. Fires across the middle, finds Dotson. Dotson catches for a gain of 12 on that play. Great reception across the middle.
Yeah, that's an absolutely great play. Dotson just broke the defense down, found the gap. Great throw there by the QB, setting up a perfect play to it's a much more manageable 3rd down now, Aiden.
Hey, it's 3rd and manageable, 3rd and about 7, I'd say. Dotson kind of scared me on that one, bobbled it for a second, but he did bring it down, and that's really all that matters. Dotson ran a great route, like you said, across the middle. Carter delivered a strike right to him. Great play. Carter drops back. Instant pressure. He looks to run. Finds Nick Johnson. Nick Johnson is able to catch the ball and run for a few yards, taken at about the 40-yard line. It'll be a 4th and short here. Now, this is a difficult position for Coach Lewis, head coach of the U of D Cubs, also the offensive play caller. Don't know if you want to show punt here or if you want to. And it appears he will show punt. Alice Folks in punt position. He is the punter as well, ladies and gentlemen. He does everything for this team.
Yeah, tough field position here on the 42-yard line. It's definitely too far for a field goal, but for a punt here, you're going to have to play it perfectly. Try not to kick this one into the end zone.
Cubs looking to the sideline, not sure what they're questioning. They're short a man, you know what, I won't say his name. And they're all set now, 11 men on the field. Play whistle dead. Coach Lewis obviously quite mad. Going to back him up, delay of game there. Going to make it a harder punt for Ellis Folks after a mental mistake by U of D.
Yeah, definitely no turning back on the punt now here on 4th and long.
Yeah, ball at about the Shamrock 47-yard line. Bolash looks to long snap the ball to Ellis Folks. Snap is off. Folks looks to punt. Gets a good punt off his foot. CC number 12 looks to return it. Makes a move. Crashes into his own guy. Brought down by number 12 for the Cubs. Tyler Bullock, long snapper, making plays.
Good wrap up there, not letting him break free. It looked like for a second he might have been able to get to the outside, but that's a good wrap up tackle to make sure CC doesn't get any extra yards.
Brady Blakita was the punt returner, brought down by a great form tackle by Bullock, obviously. Now, Shamrock offense looking to come out now. First possession of the game. They're led by number 8, Bo Jackson. Hopefully this Bo Jackson isn't as good as old-fashioned Bo Jackson. Cub Faithful getting loud and rowdy now. You love to see that. Make it hard for CC to get the ball off. Jackson, one man in the backfield, 2 men to his right, 2 men to his left. Puts a man in motion, hands it off to number 7 on its sweep. And he finds a hole, cuts, and he's brought down. Gain of about 9 on that play. Ball carrier was number 7, Nino Genrich.
Yeah, that's great blocking by the CCO line. They really gave him the edge. Cubs defense wasn't anywhere to be found there, and he broke that free for a lot of yards.
He actually moves the chains on that one. Looks like it'll be 1st and 10 for the Shamrocks. Big jet sweep on the first play of the game. Bo Jackson and his cadence.
I'm interested to see how CC takes this second play now after the big gain on the ground. We'll see if they try to go back to it.
Jackson joining the backfield by Evan Hager. Obviously still the first quarter, 0-0, 7:26 left. Officials seem to be confused about something. And clock is running again. Jackson under center. Jackson drops back, looks to fire, finds a man, number 12 for the Shamrocks, brought down by number 5 for the Cubs. Jazir Rahman makes the tackle for the Cubs after number 12, Brady Blakita, is the receiver for the Shamrocks.
Yeah, that was great composure there from the quarterback. Pressure was coming off the edge, but he still was able to stay calm, deliver a great pass, and they get 5 yards out of it.
There's something that is different about this Shamrock team is you'll see them go under center, whereas opposed the Cubs rarely go under center. Jackson to take the snap. Hands it off, fakes it, keeps it himself, and he is brought down to the line of scrimmage. Great tackle by the Cubs, open field tackle, and he got cracked. You love to see a big hit on the away team's quarterback.
Yeah, that was perfect defense there from the Cubs. The corner guys, they stayed home, they stayed put, they didn't get fooled by the fake handoff, able to bring them down. No gain for the Shamrocks there. Bring up a tough third down.
Jackson given the option, but he's able to break one free for it. He looked like he was going to break one free until he was met by a Cub right in the hole. Jackson in the shotgun formation, 3rd and 5. Big play for the Shamrocks. Puts a man in motion, drops back, looks to fire, pressure coming, and he hits a man, number 10 for the Shamrocks. He's going down the sideline, number 18 for the Shamrocks, and Mr. Connor Davey. Jackson got a tough pass off there with a man right in his face, picks up the tough 3rd down.
Yeah, that was a perfect throw there. Receiver on the out route, delivered an absolute dime, led him to the sideline, broke free. Good gain there for the Shamrocks, 1st down.
That's a bit of a heartbreaker for the Cubs there. Thought you had him with the sack. Fortunately, breaks loose a 15-yard play. Ball is now at the Cub 44-yard line. Jackson in shotgun formation, hands it off up the middle. Running back breaks it to the outside, and he is brought down by a host of Cubs. That was number 2, Evan Hager. Hager's brought down, but not before he gets 3 yards, make it 2nd and 7.
Man, tough running there from the running back. D. Lyman got into the backfield quick, got his arm on him, but shrugged off 2 Cubs, and what looked like it could have been a blown-up play, he turned it into a big gain.
Yeah, obviously disappointing play there for the Cubs. Oh, looks like there might have been a flag, brings him back. It appears to be holding. That might have been why the tackle wasn't made, Ryan.
Yeah, man, that was a tough one. Tough break for the Shamrocks. Going from a 2nd and short to a 1st and 20 now. Really going to have to open up that playbook and try to get a lot of those yards back.
The Cubs going to back off a bit here, give him some space on a 2nd and 25, or 1st and 25, on the holding call. Jackson joining the backfield by Hager. Probably looking to pass on a long 1st down. Jackson drops back, looks to fire, finds a man. It is deflected by a defensive lineman, though. I believe it was number 57 for the Cubs. Alex Iannuzzi, obviously a senior leader for this team. Great deflection there by him.
Iannuzzi's looking like J.J. Watt out there. Receiver was open down the middle of the seam, somehow got his hands on that. He just saved the Cubs defense a lot of yards, and it's going to set up a tough 2nd and 20 here for the Shamrocks offense.
Yeah, Jackson had Davey for at least 15 on that play, but Iannuzzi got his hand up. He was ready. Jackson drops back, looks to fire, fires short, finds a man. Brought down by Jason Brown. You'll see him during broadcasting during the basketball season, but right now he's making open field tackles. Great play by him there. Great recognition.
Yeah, that's tough to run a screen play on 2nd and 20. It's always hard to get a big gain on a screen play, especially when you got the Cubs defense all over it, ready for it, wrapping them up quick and early, and it's going to set up a really tough 3rd and 18 here for the Shamrocks. Interesting to see what the play call is going to be here.
Something unusual about most secondaries is that you see defensive backs struggle to make tackles, but this Cub team rarely has that problem. Jackson in the shotgun formation takes a snap, drops back, looks to fire. Fires deep downfield, and it is caught by nobody as Jason Brown was in the backfield, absolutely smokes Jackson, hit him right in the ribs. Great pressure by Brown there.
Yeah, that was some incredible defense by the Cubs. They got pressure. Corners locked down the receivers, didn't have much open downfield. That's an all-around perfectly executed 3rd down, forcing the punt now.
Yeah, showing the DB blitz there. That's always a fun play. Blitz pays off. Great call by the defensive coordinator. Dotson in return formation for the Cubs, Punter. Punt. Oh, almost blocked. Dotson gets a read on it. He's going to let it bounce. He's going to let it roll. Picks it up at the 10-yard line. Anwar Carter and his offense will take over at the 10-yard line, looking to put together a nice long drive with 4:16 left in the first.
Yeah, that was a wonderful punt there for CC. It's definitely going to put Coach Lewis in a tough spot here, starting from inside his own 10 on 1st down. We'll see what the attack plan is going to be for the Cubs here on this drive.
Yeah, obviously, the run game up the middle was working on the first possession. I would not be surprised if we see that a few times on this possession to minimize losses yards.
Yeah, you'd love to see that O-line open up some holes for Nick Johnson, really get the run game working. Like you said, worked on the first drive. The pass wasn't really there, so love to see him go back to the run here on this drive.
Cubs on their own 17, 2 men in the backfield, Johnson and number 11, Elijah Dotson. He's everywhere for this Cub offense. His speed is deadly. 2 men to his left, 1 man to his right. Carter in the shotgun formation. Takes the snap. Snap is low, bobbles it, and he just falls on that one. Tough snap by the center. Carter just has to fall on it. Now that's more yards lost in an already tough position. What do you got to say about that, Ryan?
Well, it always hurts to lose the yards, but it was overall a smart play by Carter. If he tried to pick that up and make a play out of something, could have got hit hard, could have fumbled. So falling on the ball there, it hurts to lose the yards, but overall it was the smart thing to do.
2nd and 20 on their own 11 now. Long 2nd down for the Cubs. Carter joining the backfield by Johnson. Carter drops back, fires a screen, finds Dotson. Dotson cuts. Dotson has some running room. He's up the middle, makes a man miss. He's still going, ladies and gentlemen. Down the 40, 35, 30, 25. Brought down on the 20 by number 12 for the Shamrocks. Number Brady Bakita. I told you, ladies and gentlemen, Dotson has running speed, but there is a penalty flag, hopefully not anything called on the Cubs.
Man, Dotson is lethal. It looked like he had nothing going on that play. It somehow cuts it back. It turns it into a huge momentum-shifting play. Just got to hope the flag doesn't take away some of those yards. Sounds like it was a holding penalty on the Cubs.
Holding penalty, that will back us up. Now that appeared to be like a 50-yard rush for Dotson. He was excited, did not see the flag. Now that's a heartbreaker. First big offensive play of the game, and now it's getting called back.
Oh, it's going to be big here to see how the Cubs bounce back after that. They can't get heartbroken. They gotta keep working on this drive. The drive's not over, so hopefully we can see them get another big play here.
Cubs still get 20 on that play. Holding took place later downfield. So Dotson still picked up a 2nd and 20, which is still huge, but obviously not as big as the other yards he could have gotten. Carter in the backfield joined by 2 men to his left, 1 man to his right. Another tricky count, almost gets a man to jump, does not, looks to the sideline. Carter shotgun formation, hands the ball off to Johnson. Johnson breaks it outside. Johnson brought down by the Shamrock, gets about 1 or 2 on that play. Big tackle by the Shamrocks there. If he missed that tackle, Johnson would have most definitely gotten the first down.
Yeah, didn't have much to work with there. Cubs didn't give him a good hole to run with, didn't give him a good opportunity, but the fact that he got 3 yards out of that, still chalk it up as a good play in my book.
A 2nd and 7 is always a tricky thing because the defense isn't too upset about it, but the offense isn't too upset about it either. Just kind of a waste of it down as Carter drops back. Rolls to his right, looks to fire, looks to take off, and he runs out of bounds before he could take a big hit by a Shamrock. Might have gotten 1 on that play. It'll be 3rd and 6.
Well, and you got to love seeing Carter improvising in the moment. He could have forced a bad pass downfield, but stayed composed, and rather than taking a sack, rather than throwing a bad ball, I mean, he's able to at least give him 2 yards to work with here on 3rd and 5.
He could get fast quick. He senses pressure pretty well for a junior, as he's barking some orders at his offensive line, joined by Johnson in the backfield. 3 men to his left, 1 man to his right. 3rd and 6, Shamrock showing blitz. Carter drops back, looks to fire, finds a man. It's Dotson. Dotson makes a few men miss, and he will fall for the first down. Great tap dancing lessons by Elijah Dotson.
I got to tell you what, Dotson is electric. It seems like every time this Cubs offense gets in trouble, Dotson is able to make a play, get him out of it, and on a tough 3rd and 5 there, Cubs end up with a first down.
Yeah, Dotson really doing it all for the Cub offense right now. His speed kills, ladies and gentlemen. U of D obviously still yet to show a tight end formation, showing lots of receivers and backs. That seems to be the strong suit of this team, as there is a false start by the Cubs. Man looked to pull a little bit too early before the snap, and that will make them pay. It'll be 1st and 15 now.
Yeah, that definitely hurts. I mean, there's not much you can do there. You got to stay disciplined. Now the Cubs offense going to have to work extra hard to get the first down.
Carter frustrated after the first down, looks to run it back. Same formation. Carter takes a snap, looks to fire, finds a man downfield, and it is caught! Number 18 for the Cubs, Mr. Jordan Hearns. Great way to go up and get that ball. That's a great catch, Ryan.
Yeah, that was an absolutely incredible catch. I mean, I'll tell you what, Aiden, when I saw that ball get thrown, I was worried. Double coverage, looked like it was going to be tough to make a play, but that is electric.
Jordan Hearns doing his best Randy Moss impression. It does not matter how many people you put on him, ladies and gentlemen. The Shamrocks yet again jumping, showing some undisciplined tendencies now.
Yeah, it seems like they were a bit rattled after that big play. They guess they might not have known the play call there. The Cubs section, student section, crazy loud. I mean, it's definitely got to be playing an impact on the CC defense.
At CC, they might claim to be from Detroit, but they've never been. First time in Detroit this season. They were not ready for it.
Interesting to see what the Cubs are going to bring out here on a 1st and 5, now that they've got the extra 5 yards to work with. Love to see them punch it up the middle to Nick Johnson again.
The Cubs showing a 2 tailback formation. Carter looks to take the snap, hands it off, play action actually, drops back, fires, it's deflected, picked up by a lineman. Oh, he's rumbling, stumbling, he falls forward, gets about 3 on that play. I don't know if that's legal, but man, was that fun.
Look at Ian Newsy. That is an incredible play from the O lineman. I mean, thinking on his feet, making a play that looked almost impossible, and somehow it looks like they turned this into positive yards.
Yeah, Carter was very pressured, and like I said, his shorter stature makes it so that he gets a lot of balls deflected. Like you said, Iannuzzi thought on his feet, picked up the ball. Refs thought it was illegal, but realized it was not, as the ball was deflected, making Iannuzzi an eligible receiver.
Yeah.
All around a confusing play, but gain of 3 on that play. Iannuzzi now has 3 receiving yards in his entire career. You love to see it.
Gotta love the senior making plays.
Carter looking to the sideline. Lewis calling out the play. 3 men to his left, 1 man to his right. Johnson in the backfield. Look for a tricky count. He was just talking to his line. Shotgun formation. There it is. Tricky count. Called it on 2.
CC flinched, but doesn't look like they're going to get the jump.
And that is the end of the first quarter, ladies and gentlemen. It's all tied up at 0, but the Cubs are in striking position. Ryan, what's your favorite thing about the first quarter that you like from the Cubs?
I got to say, Carter has been playing great. I mean, the way he's been able to improvise, think on his feet, make some tough plays. Looked like sometimes the Cubs didn't have anything going for him, and somehow Carter would roll out and make a great play, especially Elijah Dotson, too. Some of the plays he made were electrifying, showing why he's one of the leaders and the best players on this Cubs offense.
Obviously, both of the men you just mentioned were juniors, but there is a lot of senior leadership on this team. This week I sat down with Coach Lewis. This interview will be posted later this week. But he said there is one thing that is different about this team, and that is the leadership. The culture on this team is different. He expects his team to play well above their 1-2 record, and he says they are a team to be feared this season.
Yeah, and so far it's hard to argue with what he's saying. The Cubs played a great first quarter. Defense barely gave up any yards. And as you're seeing here in the end of the first quarter, to wrap it up, I mean, the Cubs offense has been marching down the field. They've been mixing runs and passes really well. They've been keeping CC on their toes, especially with some of those trick counts.
Second quarter taking place now. Carter in shotgun formation. Takes a snap, looks to pass. QB draw up the middle. He takes off, and he is brought down. Big hit, but not before Carter was able to pick up the first down. Great design QB draw on that play, Ryan.
And that's exactly what we were talking about, keeping the defense on their toes. Sure looked like he was going to look for somebody downfield, but he just tucks it and run and picks up a good chunk of yards that's going to set this Cubs offense up really nicely here.
Yeah, Lewis pulling out all the tricks for his in-division rival. Like I said, I sat down with him earlier this week, and he said he's looking to win against these guys by any means necessary. I asked him if he had a motto, and he said, "It's just win, baby."
Gotta love that attitude.
Thank you all for viewing us. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, tweet at us, Instagram at us. We'd love to have you. Carter puts a man in motion. It's Enix, and there seems to be a stoppage. Lewis takes his second time out of the half. Or excuse me, appears the Shamrocks took a timeout on that one. Saw something they did not like.
Yeah, clearly must have been worried about something they saw in the offensive end, trying to keep the Cubs off the scoreboard. Cubs have a lot of momentum right now. CC's going to have to try to find a way to keep them off the scoreboard.
Yeah, obviously, I think CC came into this game, they were not ready for what U of D had planned. Lots of trickery, lots of tap dancing. CC does not look ready for it.
Yeah, the offense has been playing great. I mean, the run has been established, the pass has been established, and even some of those trick plays getting used early. Some of the tough trick counts, defense hasn't been able to respond, and I think play calling is a big reason for why the Cubs are in a good spot right now.
The offensive play calling been a strength right now. CC does not look prepared for anything that's coming. Carter in the shotgun formation, 3 men to his left, 1 man to his right. Johnson joins him in the backfield. Enix in motion. Carter drops back, looks for Enix. Enix in the end zone, and he is ruled incomplete after a tie-up with number 2 of the Shamrocks, Evan Hager.
Yeah, that almost looked like defensive pass interference from up here in the press box, but It's a tough play. I mean, Carter took a risky throw. It wasn't too open, but not a bad throw.
Obviously, Enix in the design pass right there. He looked to fire, looked for the 50-50 ball. Unfortunately, ball was a little bit overthrown, could not get the defensive pass interference call there.
Well, you know, it was only first down too, Aiden, so never hurts to take a shot in the red zone on first down, but now second down is going to be a big play here. See how they bounce back.
Carter, shotgun formation joined by Johnson in the backfield. Johnson hands it off, Anwar hands it off the middle to Johnson. Johnson gets about 2 or 3 on that play. Call it 3rd and 7.
Man, it looked like he had some space to break loose, but good job by the CC linebackers wrapping him up.
Yeah, CC obviously been great at open field tackling this game. That's something they pride themselves on.
Well, and you know, and it's an important culture to have it. It's an important part for any football team to have linebackers that are confident and linebackers that'll make plays.
Carter in the shotgun formation, 2 men to his right, 2 men to his left. Johnson in the backfield. Carter drops back, looks to pass, finds a man, it's Dotson, and he lightly overthrows it, and it's an interception. Costly interception there. Jack Davis for the Shamrocks made that play. Dotson was a little bit taller, he could have made that catch, but tough pass from Carter there.
Yeah, that's a tough break from the Cubs. Wasn't even a bad throw, wasn't a bad attempt to bring it down, but the CC defender was in the right place at the right time. It fell right into his lap, made the play, and now CC is going to take over in their own zone from about the 30-yard line.
After a long 80-yard drive, that's an unfortunate way to end it. Red zone interception, no points for the Cubs on that one. Game is still 0-0, 10:31 left in the first half. Bo Jackson in the backfield in his cadence. Jackson hands it off up the middle, and he has brought the running back for number 14, Spencer Lyons, for the Shamrocks. Lyons brought down after gaining about 5 on that play.
Yeah, he had a hole there. It was great blocking by the CCO line, but at the same time, you got to give the respect to the Cubs defense, reacting quickly there to make the play, stopping that from turning into anything bigger.
Jackson in the backfield takes the snap, toss play to Lyons, and brought down by too many Cubs to count. He gets about 3 on that play. It'll be 3rd and 2.
Yeah, that was a great job by the edge rusher of U of D, forcing him to cut it back inside, right in to the Cubs defense, stopping him from getting the first down.
A great play by the Cub defense, way to swarm. It takes a village to bring down a man sometimes, and that time the village came.
As long as it stops him from getting the first.
Jackson on a 3rd and very short, 3rd and about 1. 3 men in the backfield. Looks to be a punch formation. Cubs showing blitz. Wildcat formation. And number 21 for the Shamrocks breaks one loose down the sideline. Brown chasing him. And he is in the end zone. Number 4, Nathan Semp. Or excuse me, number 21, Jaden Pyden for the Shamrocks. Takes one 53 yards to the end zone.
Yeah, there's not much you can do there if you're the defense. They swarmed the outside. It was a great cutback up the middle. I mean, he really just turned nothing into something. It's a great run. You got to give your credit there to number 21 of the Shamrocks.
Disappointing gain there for the Cub defense after a tough turnover by the Cub offense. And there's a fake snap, and the Cubs didn't even fall for it. Strange play call there. Cubs were not caught lacking, not even for a second. Shamrocks only lead by 6 now. Really wasted their opportunity to go up by more. The Cubs can take the lead on this possession now.
Yeah, Aiden, I don't know about you, but I don't understand the play call one bit. I mean, they're the first to score. We're about a quarter of the way through the second quarter. Shamrocks finally get the first touchdown of the game, and they decide to try to go for two. I mean, I can't say I understand where they're coming from. And now this U of D offense that just drove 80 yards on their last play has a chance to drive right back down the field and take the lead.
Yeah, a little bit of what you like to call a head scratcher on that one. Kind of gifting the Cubs with a free point. Number 47 for the Shamrocks, Mr. Jake Madigan. Kick off. Dotson and Enix deep for the Cubs.
This is going to be an important drive for the Cubs here. With as long as their last drive took, this could very well take us up towards the end of the first half, so you'd love to see the Cubs be productive and efficient on this drive.
I'd love to see a nice, methodical drive that ends in a touchdown and a converted extra point.
Yeah, because I would like to hope Coach Lewis would take his PAT in this situation.
Ball is up. Enix has a read on it, picks it up at the 15-yard line, looks to run, cuts it back, and he cuts up the middle, cuts another way. He's tackled at the 23-yard line. Lots of running, not a lot of yards.
You know who that reminded me of, Aiden?
Barry Sanders?
Deshaun Jackson.
Sean Jackson, that's second guess.
I mean, sometimes it's just better to run forward, take the hit. I mean, almost lost a couple yards there, but you know, at the end of the day, Cubs didn't get hurt by it, didn't get helped by it, so I guess it's all right.
I love that comparison, Ryan. It's a great speed guy, just like Enix is, a slot receiver, special teamer as well. And now Anwar Carter will take back over for the Cubs. Two men in the backfield. It's Johnson and DC. Dakari Gilkey. Now he's a sophomore, but he plays a good bit of running back with Nick Johnson.
You know, maybe Enix makes one of those Deshaun Jackson vertical route big-time plays here.
Carter drops back, finds DC. DC cuts up the middle and is brought down, but not before getting 3 or 4 yards on that one. Call it 2nd and 6.
Yeah, not much to work with there. I mean, the CC defense was ready for it. They swarmed it early. They wrapped him up, made a good tackle, but you know what? You got to be happy that you got 4 yards out of that.
Yeah, good play there. Way to run by DC. Way to catch and run, too. Coach Lewis will take that.
Cubs guys have been running hard so far this game. You could love to see it.
Carter hands it off to Johnson up the middle. Johnson has a hole, and he is brought down by a few Shamrocks. But they will mark him. Nope, they give him the first down. Gain of 6 on that one. Johnson hits the hole hard, and he gets the first down. Way to run by him.
Aiden, you know how much I love to see them just punching the ball up the middle. It's hard-mouth football. It requires the O-line to block well. It requires the running back to run hard. But when it's executed well, like you saw there, you can really make a lot out of a small play.
Yeah, Lewis loves that. Get the ball up the middle. Doesn't have to show much for the future teams. Carter finds a man. Number 18 for the Cubs. He gets about 9, maybe 10 on that play. Number 18 was Jordan Hearns, the man who made the great Randy Moss catch earlier this game.
Yeah, that was perfectly executed. He got wide open down the middle of the field. Carter throws a stripe right to him. That's another U of D first down.
The Carter spreading the ball, sharing the love. Every receiver's gotten the ball a few times now. Jordan Hearns gets 10, moves the chains. Carter in the shotgun formation, 2 men to his right, 2 men to his left. Johnson in the backfield. Looks to pass, instantly pressured. Carter rolls out, steps up, and tries to make a man miss. Instead of losing 10, he loses about 3 on that one after some creativity.
Am I allowed to make another player comparison?
Sure.
Looking like Lamar Jackson on that play. The way he was just able to get out of the pocket, it's really incredible. I mean, he's got 2 guys running at him full speed, big dudes, and like you were saying earlier, smaller guy. But the way he's able to improvise and get out of the pocket, he saved the Cubs offense over 8 yards there, getting out of the pocket.
Yeah, makes it about 2nd and 11, loss of 1 on that play after the pressure on first down. Carter takes a snap, drops back, fires, finds Johnson on the check down. Johnson gets about 3 or 4 on that one. Make it 2nd and 7 after the loss of 1 on first. 3rd and 7, excuse me.
Well, and you know, the check down route's always a very simple design. It's always good for a couple yards, but on 2nd 11 there, it's not great to see him only get 4 yards there. It's going to set the offense up with a much tougher 3rd down here.
Yeah, Carter forced into another passing down. 3rd and 8, probably. Carter takes a snap, drops back, looks to fire, pressured, and he is sacked. Well, they call it incomplete. Carter was able to get the ball off by the time the man made contact with him. It'll be 4th and 7 after the heads-up play by Carter after the instant pressure.
Yeah, I've got to say, Aiden, it's really tough to see the O-line getting bullied like that on back-to-back plays. I mean, the CCD line, I know you were saying earlier in the game, they're very talented group of young men. But it's just tough. Hard to watch the U of D O-line get abused 2 plays in a row like that. Forced to punt the ball now on 4th and 7.
Ellis to punt for the Cubs. Number 12 for the Shamrocks, Mr. Brady Blakita, the return for the Shamrocks. And folks' punt is off. Blakita lets it bounce, lets it keep bouncing. It rolls out of bounds at probably the 13-yard line. Great punt by folks there. Not a trained punter, but he made it work on that one.
Yeah, I got to say, not to take anything away from my man Ellis, but that was a lucky bounce. It's a big break for the Cubs offense. That one hugged the sideline, falls. I think they marked it at the 14-yard line. So this is going to be a big drive here. U of D trying to shut down CC inside their own 15.
Sun's starting to set now with 5:46 left in the second, excuse me. Shamrocks lead 7-0.
6, rather.
Excuse me. Jackson hands it off up the middle. 2 for the Shamrocks, still running. Gets 10 on a play that he should have gotten none. That was Evan Hager, a senior captain for the Shamrocks unit.
Yeah, and that's good leadership there. I mean, he did not give up on that play. He ran through about 3 or 4 Cubs defenders and turned what should have been, like you said, a minimal gain into an 11-yard gain. Cubs defense going to need to step up here.
Jackson joining the backfield by Hager. Gives it to Hager again. Hager hits the hole again and gets another big run. Gain of 9, possibly 10. We'll see where they spot it.
Yeah, he's running really well right now. Cubs defense is going to need to step up and try to make a play. Maybe try sending some pressure, try clog in the middle. They're going to need to try something new here as CC is just running all over him right now.
The defensive woes right now for the Cubs. Need them to step it up a bit if they want to stay in this game. Gives it to Blakita again. Blakita has a lot of running room, and he is brought down, but not before getting 20. Crosses the 50-yard line. He's taken down at the 42-yard line. Another big gain on the same exact play.
Yeah, CC's doing exactly what I was hoping U of D would do on their last drive, just keeping it simple and running it up the middle. I mean, the Shamrocks O-line, they're creating the holes, running backs running hard, and you can see how that simple play design can pay dividends for an offense.
Timeout called now for the Cubs. Lewis takes his first. 4:36 left in the half. Shamrocks still lead, but are in striking position.
Yeah, I've got to say that's a good timeout call here by Coach Lewis. CC had built a lot of momentum on those 3 plays. They only ran 3 plays, and they ended up on the Cubs 42, starting this drive on their own 14-yard line. I mean, it's tough to see the Cubs go down like that here with only 4:30 left in the half. They're going to really need to step it up, try to keep points off the board going into the second half.
Yeah, as a Cub fan, I'd love to see them force a turnover here.
Yeah, that would be huge. Aiden, I got to ask, what do you think the defense should do here coming out of the timeout to try to slow down this offense?
I just think Lewis needs to hype up his linebacking core, have him make a play at the line of scrimmage. Blakita now subbed out of the game after 3 big plays, but Jackson still at quarterback. Jackson hands it off again, and another stiff arm. Gain of 7 on that one. That was number 14, Spencer Lyons in the first non-first down on this drive by the Shamrocks, but it's still a gain of 7.
Well, I don't even blame the defense for that play. They really clogged the middle. It looked like a run up the middle. He cut it outside and turned it into a big gain.
Jackson, hurry-up offense, just kind of falls forward, wants the first down, wants to set up the first down offense. Jackson moves the chains on that one.
Yeah, that's going to set CC up nicely now. They've got 4 minutes to work with just outside of the red zone, now working with a new set of downs. This is going to put the Cubs defense in a tough spot.
Jackson, the shotgun formation, joined by Lions in the backfield. Cubs looking for a stop here. 1st and 10 for the Shamrocks. Hand off to Lions again. And he gets another 5 yards. Cubs D-line really going through it right now. Have struggled to stop this Shamrock run attack this game.
Yeah, at some point, Aiden, it just becomes embarrassing that a team can only run the ball and they keep getting good yardage. I mean, the Cubs defense is going to need to step up here.
They've ran the same play a few times, and they run it again. Blakita back in the game, bounces it outside. He's got running room, and he is brought down by Jason Brown, but not before falling on the 5-yard line.
Yeah, that's a tough break. 2 U of D guys really, they were on it. They looked like they were there. It looked like they were going to make a play, but it was just good running there by the running back. He's been running well this whole drive. He runs well there too, and now inside the 5. 1st and goal.
Jackson doing the QB sneak thing again. He is stopped, but moves the ball about 2 yards. 2nd and goal.
Good to see the Cubs D-line step up there. They really actually clogged the middle that time. We've been hoping that they would do that all drive. This time they step up and make a good play.
Love to see a goal line stand here from my Cubs, as there is 2:45 left in the first half. Enough time to have a goal line stand and at least get a field goal.
That would be huge, Aiden.
Jackson in the shotgun formation. Hands it off to Blakita up the middle, and he is in the end zone after being wrapped up in the backfield by Folks. Touchdown Shamrocks. Shamrocks lead 12-0 with 2:30 left in the half.
Maybe we got to stop blaming the defense so much, because that was an incredible run. 2 Cubs defenders got to him in the backfield. He's a great agility to stay on his feet, get into the end zone. I mean, that's a great run there.
Just a tough break for the Cubs there. Folks blew up the play, but Blakita kind of shrugged him off as the Shamrocks looks to go for 2 here after the blundered extra point attempt the first time.
Well, this is going to be a big sequence here for the Cubs. A stop here would be huge. Plus, you can't count the Cubs offense out. They've got 2:30 to work with. Maybe worst case scenario, they can hopefully end up with a field goal.
Shamrock showing Wildcat. And he is stopped. No good. Cubs finally blow up a run play. They will not get the extra 2 points. It's a 12-0 game with 2:30 left in the first half.
Yeah, and that's a huge stand for the defense. It looked like he had a hole. It looked like he was going to be able to get in there, but they absolutely blew up that play. I know you were talking to Coach Lewis about that must-win attitude. Maybe something really got through to the players there on that play, as they made a huge play here towards the end of the first half.
Obviously, as halftime approaches, the band will take the field. And Ryan, I will say one of my favorite things about U of D football is the band. I love hearing them play. Obviously, very close with one of the leaders, David Smith, a good friend of ours, friend of the broadcast. What do you think about the band?
Well, the band just brings a different energy to Cubs football. Obviously, when you're talking about the team itself, it's one thing. But the band just gets you excited. It gets you pumped seeing your friends out there. They're playing great music. They're playing the fight song. I mean, as an avid member of the student section, it gets rowdy when the band takes the field.
Yeah, we love the band, as the broadcast does love the band. We love them dearly. It's always a better game with them than without them. It's another reason why home games are so big. I believe we have the best band in the Catholic League. We take it seriously here, and I think it really shows.
Yeah, I'm yet to see another team wow me with their band like the U of D band does.
Dotson and Enix deep for the Cubs, looking to turn something around after a unfortunate start to the half. And Enix fields it, cuts it up the sideline, makes a move, and he is brought down at the 25-yard line. A little bit of shoving after the play. Got a little scrappy after that one. Cubs say it was a dirty hit, which I thought it kind of was. Enix showed that he was done.
Well, it's always good to see a Cubs player sticking up for another Cubs player. It really shows that brotherhood and the bond that the team's built. Sometimes, it's tough to take the flag there, but at the end of the day, I think sticking up for your teammate means something a little bit more than just a flag.
Still waiting for the officials, taking their time. I think it was a little bit of back and forth. I could see this becoming a no call.
Well, and that's a tough play to call, especially since we obviously don't get replay review. It's tough to see, was Enix clearly out of bounds? Was it a late hit? Was it a deliberate dirty hit? I guess we'll see what the refs decide on here.
David Smith directing the band on the sideline while the referees get their stuff in order. And it does appear like the referees are going to back up the Cubs after an unsportsmanlike conduct, a little bit of shoving after the play. It's a tough 15 yards to take, but if they're going to get called for anything, I'd like them to get called for being passionate.
Yeah, I got to agree there. I mean, it always sucks to have to start with this tough field position, but I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Carter takes the field yet again, looking to put some points up on the board after no points through most of the first half, 2:25 left.
I'm interested to see if they go aggressive or passive here. Are they going to run it or be aggressive, go down the field?
And they will punch it to Johnson up the middle. Johnson still up. He gets about 10 on that play, moves the chains. Great run blocking by the Cub offensive line there. Gave him a great hold. Johnson was ready for it. Broke a tackle, fell forwards, got 11 on that play, moves the chains.
Aiden, call me an old head, but I love hard-mouth football. Running the ball up the middle, when it works that well, it truly is a wonderful sight to see.
I will say I agree with you when my team is doing it. I love seeing the Cubs get yards. It is frustrating when teams do it to us.
That's a good
Carter drops back, finds Johnson in the flats, overthrows him by just a bit. 2nd and 10 for the Cubs.
Yeah, that's tough there. If Carter would have delivered that on target, it looked like Johnson had a bit of field to work with, probably would have been able to get out of bounds. Instead of having those yards, they're going to have a tough 2nd and 10. Probably need to be a little bit more aggressive here. Or run it straight up the middle.
Whatever works. That's what I say. Carter, shotgun formation, joined by Johnson in the backfield. Carter hands the ball to Johnson, like you said. Picks up a block by Dotson, gets about 6 on that play. Bounced it outside well, used his obviously clear track star athleticism. That's an All-American, Nick Johnson.
And a state champion.
Now, obviously, a strength of this team is its speed. Like you said, we are the state champions in track and field, and most of those guys play football for this team.
Yeah, it was a great run, though I have to say it's tough to see him knock it out of bounds. That clock is ticking, and it's ticking fast.
1:25 left in the half. Carter hands to Johnson up the middle. Johnson picks up the first down. And yes, he did. First down Cubs, but the clock is stopped. It stops on first downs. I do declare Lewis still wanting him to hurry it up. He likes what he sees.
Yeah, and that was an overall good play by the Shamrocks linebacker core. They stuffed it quickly, but Johnson running hard enough to get the first down. We'll see what the Cubs do here with a new set of downs.
Carter drops back on 1st and 10. Looks to fire. Across the middle. Finds Hearns. Hearns bobbles and loses the ball. After great hands all games, Hearns seems to lose the ball. Looked to run before he caught it.
Yeah, that's tough for the Cubs offense. Like you said, he clearly had the mindset of getting down the field before he actually brought the ball in. That would have been a big play for the Cubs. It would have flipped the field position. Clock would have stopped. Now Coach Lewis is going to have to pull something out of his playbook here that's going to switch the momentum towards the Cubs.
1:03 left in the half. Carter drops back, looks to pass, finds Enix on a screen. Enix cuts up the middle, has room to run, makes a man miss. He's on the 40, 45-40, 35-30, and he is pushed out of bounds on the 25-yard line of the Shamrocks. Great play by Enix.
And it's great to see them finally getting Austin Enix involved in the offense on the screenplay, cuts it backfield just like he does on the kick returns. He's able to make a huge play out of a design play that doesn't usually see you get a lot of yards, but he has completely flipped the script here with 53 seconds left.
Great play there, obviously showing off his track star speed, and I think he might take up a career in dancing after making that many men miss.
Maybe take a shot at America's Got Talent.
Carter fires for the end zone, and it is overthrown by about a foot. Head Gauman in the end zone.
Yeah, I mean, he was open. It's just an unfortunate miss there for Carter. Could have had 6, but the big thing to focus on here, Carter's got to stay calm. He's got to stay composed. He's still got 48 seconds. It's still only second down. It sucks that you missed the touchdown there, but you got to stay composed, make a big play here.
Yeah, like you said, Carter needs to stay composed. Obviously in field goal position, new kicker Paul Rawi can make these.
Yeah,
but I'd love to see 6. Hate taking field goals.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say, Aiden.
Carter drops back, looks to fire, finds Dotson. Dotson cuts up the middle, and he's taken down on the 14-yard line. Cubs running, hurry up.
Yeah.
Third down, 3rd and 1.
Yeah, that's tough, Aiden. The Cubs have no timeouts, and he cut it up the middle. He probably should have tried to go out of bounds there. Clock is moving.
I believe the Cubs have one more timeout left. They're saving it for the field goal. Carter drops back, finds Johnson. Johnson, but puts the ball a little bit too high. If he would have put that on the outside, I could have seen Johnson scoring, but he put it high instead, but he was pressured. Tough throw for Carter there.
Yeah, that was a great play by the corner here, and this is going to leave the Cubs in a really tough spot. You've got 4th and really short, not a lot of time. Are you willing to risk giving up the 3 points to try to get a huge touchdown on the board, or do you play it safe and get on the board here?
Looks like Lewis is going aggressive. He wants points, baby. Carter in the shotgun formation, joined by Johnson in the backfield. Ball is off. Hands it off to Johnson up the middle. Johnson appears to get the first down.
That's a close one.
But it's tight. Shamrock say they got him. Play is still up in the air. And they say they stopped him.
That's a tough break for the Cubs. I gotta say, I like the aggressiveness. I like the win-at-all-costs attitude that Lewis plays with every single game. But to see the Cubs fail to get any points on the board in the first half, especially with 2 of the really good, long, down-the-field drives they put together, to have both of those end in no points, it really hurts to see.
Yeah, obviously now 2 empty possessions. You like to think that even if we got a field goal on both of those possessions, it would be a one-possession game.
It definitely hurts here, but I think the big thing, especially when I played football, the big attitude you've got to have is the score is 0-0 to start the second half. They've got to ignore the 12 points they gave up, and they got to play with a new type of passion and heart in the second half.
And finally, the Cubs blow up a design run play. That was number 70, Michaelan Bradshaw. He's a wrestler. He was able to squiggle his way through the offensive line and blow up that one.
Good to see the Cubs defense finally having that I'm not having an attitude. Blowing up a play to end the half on a good note. It's going to be an interesting second half here for the Cubs.
And the Shamrocks will take it to halftime. Ryan, what's one thing you liked about the first half after the Shamrocks take a 12-0 lead at half?
Well, the Cubs offense clearly showed flashes that they can take control of this game. The runs up the middle were there. You'd like to see Coach Lewis embracing that in the second half. Keeping the ball on the ground, the run game has worked better than the pass game. Not to say that the pass game hasn't been great for the Cubs, but the run can set up the pass, and if the run's working, it's definitely the best thing for the Cubs to focus on in the second half.
Yeah, obviously, in my opinion, the Cubs need to limit empty possessions. Too many of those in the first half. And ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a break at halftime. We will be back with you at the beginning, or slightly before, the third quarter. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. The second half is set to commence in about 2 minutes. You would not believe how long it took me to get a Gatorade, Ryan.
Oh, Aiden, I would believe you. I tried to get some waters for us at the beginning. Before the game even started, it took me 10 minutes.
It's ridiculous, Ryan. But what are your 2 key takeaways from this U of D team in the first half?
Well, at a certain point, the viewers got to get annoyed with how often I've said run the ball up the middle, hard-mouth football. It was effective for both teams. I mean, it hurts to see the other team succeeding at what we should be succeeding at. But at the end of the day, I think if the Cubs stick to the run, it'll pay them big dividends. Other takeaway, the defense. The defense didn't look too shabby. I know they gave up 12 points, and I know they had a really rough drive where the CC just ran all over them. But defense had a couple really big plays. The opening drive of the game, they looked really good. So hopefully that defense, maybe Coach Lewis, I know in that interview he had a lot of passion. He was really excited about win at all costs. I really hope in that halftime speech he really ignited a spark in this Cubs team, and maybe we'll see them bounce back and have a really strong second half.
Last time CC played here, there was a second half comeback for them. But now we're hoping to see a second half comeback from the Cubs. Kickoff set to commence in about 35 seconds. What's one strong suit about this CC team that you hate to give credit for, Ryan?
Run game.
Their run game is deadly. Running backs run the ball all over us. They get holes. It gets frustrating to watch, Ryan.
Well, and with CC receiving the ball to start the second half, I think this first drive will tell us a lot about how this second half is going to go. You know CC is probably going to want to run the ball early and often here in the second half. So, I mean, it's tough. There's 2 ways to look at it because you know the Cubs team is anticipating the run, but you don't want to get too heavy trying to defend the run because then you know something can open up deep downfield or over the middle. So it's going to be interesting to see how Coach Lewis tries to stop this powerhouse CC offense.
Everybody getting set for the second half to begin. Student section on their feet. Cub faithful loud.
It's time for him to get rowdy, Aiden. We got to get excited here.
Liam O'Neill set to kick off for the Cubs. He seems to be the place kicker. Jersrawi seems to be the field goal guy. Deep for the Shamrocks is number 12, Brady Blakita, senior captain, and number 2, Evan Hager, another senior captain.
You know, I'm interested to see how this kick return goes. We haven't seen CC return a kickoff yet this game, so I'm excited to see how it goes.
And the second half has begun. Squib kick by O'Neill up the middle, or McGrail, excuse me. Shamrocks have some running room, and they are brought down at the 50 after a great return off the squib kick. Number 12, Brady Blakita, made that return.
Yeah, and I can't say I understand why they wanted to open up the half with a squib kick. I'm not sure if it was some sort of trick design where they tried to throw him off guard, but I mean, if it was, it really just, I don't know. It was just so confusing to me, and it's tough to see CC get a huge return that sets him up in midfield just to open up the second half.
The CC team has been deadly on the ground as Jackson hands it off up the middle. Gain of 4 on that play. Appears to be Hager, was the ball carrier on that one.
Well, you know, we were both anticipating that they would open up with a run to start the second half. And frankly, you don't love to give up 5 yards up the middle, but at the same time, it's promising based off what we saw in the first half that the Cubs were quick to get there.
2nd and 5 for the Shamrocks now. Jackson in the backfield. Takes a snap, hands it off the middle, and he is stuffed. Gain of 1 on that one, but the Cubs swarmed really well.
This is exactly what I was hoping we would see. We figured CC would go often and early with the run game. And Coach Lewis seems like he's drawn up a good game plan to try to shut down that run early in the second half. So now it's going to be interesting to see what the Shamrocks want to try to do here on a 3rd and 4.
Yeah, obviously the signs of being a good head coach is you make the adjustments needed at the second half. And if the Cubs could stop him here, that would be a good sign of that. Jackson takes the snap, drops back, looks to fire, finds a man. It is caught. Gain of 7, first down for the Shamrocks. The receiver was number 12, Brady Blakita.
Yeah, that was a good out route there. Created the space on the corner. Great throw by the quarterback. I mean, it was all around. It was well executed. It was a short pass, but it was enough for the first. Shamrocks will start now on the Cubs 44 with a new set of downs.
Disappointing third down there for the Cubs. They got to regroup here and start fighting this next series. 12-0 Shamrocks, 10:30 left in the third quarter. Jackson drops back, looks to throw, has time, steps up. He is brought down. It is a coverage sack for the Cubs. That appeared to be number 70. Number 61, excuse me, Jacob Bellinger.
Quarterback had a lot of time there. He had the time to make a play, but the secondary for the Cubs locked down the open receivers downfield. Nowhere to throw. Cubs D-line steps up, brings him down for a loss of 2.
Big play on second down there. Backs him up, ball on the Cub 40-yard line. Jackson puts him in, shuffles him around, hands it off the middle to Lyons. Lyons falls forward, gain of 6 on that play. Call it 3rd and 5 now.
Yeah, that's going to set up an awkward third down here for the Shamrocks. It seems like you could run it for a gain, but at the same time, you're risking a run where it only gets 2 yards and they don't end up with the first. So it'll be interesting to see what the Shamrocks draw up to try to get this first down.
Excuse me, it appears to be more of a 3rd and 7. Tough situation for a coach. Do you go to the run game that's giving you solid yardage all game, or do you air it out on the long yardage play? We shall see what happens. Jackson to take the snap. He does drop back, looks to fire, fires to his left, and incomplete. Pass broken up by number 5 of the Cubs, Jasir Rahman. Great coverage there, smothered him, and now the Shamrocks looking to the sideline, seeing what they are going to do. Obviously, like we've said before, this is a weird position. Anywhere between the 45-yard lines is difficult because you don't like to punt and it's too far to kick. And it looks like the Shamrocks are leaving their offense on the field.
Seems interesting that if the coach considers this 4-down territory, that they went deep downfield on 3rd down. Now they're going to set up a tough 4th and long.
Jackson drops back, looks across the middle. Ball is incomplete, turnover on downs, but there is flags on the field. Looks like false start. Cubs will get even more room to breathe, but and they will move it back 5 yards, and the Shamrocks will punt. Kind of unfortunate there, as the Cubs did force an incompletion. Should have gotten the ball where it is, but Dotson to return the punt now.
Well, Dotson's been electric all game. Maybe he can pull something out of his sleeve, get a big punt return, get the Cubs pumped up for this offensive drive.
Dotson lets it bounce, and it will.
Oh, man.
Well, they called it a touchback. Tough coverage there. Good coverage if you're a Cub fan. Bad coverage if you're rooting for the Shamrocks. And the Cubs kind of get a break there, making it only really a 15, 20-yard punt, as the ball will now be placed at the 25 as Anwar Carter and his offense will take over.
Yeah, that was almost really scary, Aiden, being inside your own 5-yard line, nonetheless on your own goal line. Would have been a really, really rough start to a drive, but now they've got some breathing room at the 20.
Carter with 2 tailbacks, shotgun formation, 2 men to his left, 1 man to his right. Carter takes a snap, and he hands it off to Dotson. Dotson has some room on the outside. Dotson looks to break. He has room, and he is taken down. Gain of 15 on that one. Moves the ball to the Cub 35-yard line. Great play from Dotson.
You know, Aiden, that was a really interesting play. It seemed like it was a bit of a delayed handoff. He kind of waited for it, and when he gave it to him, he hit the edge fast and created a lot of space there. Maybe Coach Lewis is trying to keep CC on their toes like he did early in the first quarter. Maybe it pays off.
Great play there from the Cubs. Anwar Carter barking some orders at his offensive line, joined in the backfield by Nick Johnson. 3 men to his left, 1 man to his right. Carter drops back, looks to pass, and throws it at CC. That was what you like to call a scary pass, Ryan.
Yeah, that was an ill-advised throw there. He didn't really have anything open. You could see he got pressured. He got a bit nervous when the pressure was coming. He wanted to get the ball out. He didn't want to take the sack, but almost ended in an interception. It's moments like those where you think taking the sack might be more beneficial, but at least it ended up incomplete.
Yeah, for me, Ryan, time stopped for a second. I did not want to see Anwar Carter throw a second interception before his first touchdown, but he's in the shotgun formation. He hands it off to Nick Johnson. He breaks it outside. Johnson falls forwards. Great way to run. Gain of 7 on that one.
You gotta love those strong-nosed runs from the Cubs offense. Where they were looking at a tough 2nd and 10, but it appears they got about 6 yards out of that run, setting up a much more manageable 3rd down.
Tough spot. I thought it was about 7. They gave him about 5.5. Call it 3rd and 5. Anwar Carter in a tough situation now. He looks to get the first down as he's in the shotgun formation, joined by Johnson in the backfield. Shamrocks blitzing. Carter throws it deep, finds Dotson. Dotson gets his feet in. First down. Great play, great catch, and Dotson is electrified. What a play. Ryan, what do you got to say about that?
Well,
Pressure in his face. Great throw. Dotson with the feet down.
I gotta say, I love how the run was able to set that up. They'd been running the ball a lot that drive, and it really, you could tell that CC was anticipating the run. They sent a lot of men at the quarterback. He stayed composed, threw a good ball. That's a big momentum-shifting play there for the Cubs offense.
That's the kind of play you'd like to see out of Anwar Carter, showing poise and accuracy. We have 7:20 left in the 3rd quarter. Shamrocks lead 12-0, but the Cubs are in striking position. Ball in the Shamrock 35 as Nick Johnson gets the ball at the middle, and he is taken down at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that's tough to see. Eventually, you know, when you run the ball, it's destined to get blown up one time. But I think it's important for the Cubs not to get rattled. Sometimes those runs are going to get blown up. But what's important is that you stay relaxed. You got to know that the run can still work, even if it fails one time.
Have to stay patient here. Carter getting the orders from the sideline, getting his receivers lined up. 3 men to his left, 1 man to his right. Johnson in the backfield. Carter in the shotgun formation, looking for the snap, puts Enix in motion. And there is a flag. Looks like it'll be a false start or illegal procedure, something of that kind. It'll move him back on an already tough first down, make it 2nd and 15.
Yeah, you got to stay disciplined, especially when you're in a tough spot. You're down 2 scores halfway through the 3rd quarter. You got to stay disciplined. Now you're putting your offense in a tough spot with a 2nd and quite a while.
Cubs need a big play here. I'm looking for Enix now. Carter throws a screen pass. It is deflected up in the air. Strange pass. Shamrocks look to be ready for that. It's 3rd and 15.
Yeah, you got that one right, Aiden. CC really swarmed that screen pass. I know the screen has worked a couple times, but I don't know about you. I find it to be a play that you can really only run a few times a game because at a certain point, it just becomes easy to guard, and we see it there. CC was all over that.
Yeah, Carter now in a tough position, passing down. 3rd and 15.
Aiden, are you looking for Enix or Dotson here?
I'm looking for Enix on a crossing route. I'd love to see him pick up a big first down. Carter drops back, rolls to his right, looking for somebody to throw it to. And he throws it for somebody, but it's incomplete. There is flags. Nope, no, excuse me. I thought I saw a flag. It was just somebody's shoe. Excuse me.
Yeah, nothing open there. It was scary. You got it perfect. Enix ran that crossing route, had a couple guys on verts, but just nothing open. It was good defense by CC. Carter tried to roll out, make a big play. Just nothing really there for the Cubs. Now they're just going to be forced to punt it away. Tough to see another empty possession.
Yeah, lots of good plays, but not enough points. Obviously, the Shamrocks still lead 12-0 with 6:07 left in the 3rd. Folks to punt He is punting to number 12 for the Shamrocks, Brady Blakita. And folks' punt is off. No pressure coming towards him. Ball bounces, and it will bounce out of bounds at about the 17-yard line.
Yeah, can't be mad at that punt. It's better than a touchback. It gives the Cubs an extra 3 yards there. It's overall a good punt there. And now it's going to be really interesting to see how this drive goes with the CC offense. They had a rough start to the second half, but they also had a rough start to the first half and picked it up later. So we're going to see if the Cubs can stop CC from getting any momentum, get a quick stop, get the Cubs offense back on the field, and hopefully then the Cubs can try to get some points on the board.
6 minutes remain in the third quarter. Bo Jackson, shotgun formation, play action, drops back, looks to fire, fires across the middle, no good. Looks for Blakita, overthrows him by a bit. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, good defense there. They didn't really give any of the receivers room to breathe, and that's a good first down stop.
Let's do that 3 more times, Ryan. Love to see that.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, this CC run game has been dominant. We'll see if they run it here on 2nd and 10. The 2-possession lead.
You know, I'd be looking at an outside run here. CC's been going to that a lot.
Ball is handed off up the middle, and it is to number 2, Evan Hager. He gets about 5 on that play. Make it 3rd and manageable for the Shamrocks.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting play call for the Shamrocks. We've been talking about it all day. These awkward positions where you've got 4, 5, 6 yards to go. It's a tough spot because you've got to figure out if the run or the pass is more optionable.
And it is sack time for the Cubs. Number 18, Jordan Hearns, absolutely smoked Bo Jackson as he was throwing. It'll be 4th down.
Yeah, that is an absolutely huge play from Jordan there. He landed a big hit on the quarterback. That's going to really change the tide of this game. They're going to get the ball back, a quick 3 and out. They hit the quarterback hard. Hopefully, maybe they rattled him. Now we really need the Cubs offense to get a spark and get going here.
Dotson deep for the Cubs after a great defensive possession. And now there seems to be some kind of holdup. A little bit of confusion here. Don't know what to say, Ryan.
Yeah, I can't say I really do either. But what I can say is the fact that we need, and I think the word here is need, a big drive for the Cubs offense. They have been held scoreless through over half of this game. They've had a lot of opportunities. They've gotten the ball in the red zone, I believe, twice, and they still haven't gotten any points on the board. When you're in this stage of the game, I think it's crucial that you make a statement. You get some points on the board, you give your defense something to work with, and you draw this game closer.
Ryan, unfortunately, there seemed to be some kind of problem on the U of D side. Shamrocks get a first down on an illegal procedure.
Can't say I saw anything there, but this is an interesting situation, Aiden. It looks like the refs are going to talk about this.
Now, Shamrock showing a new quarterback, number 3, Skylar Hunter. He's a sophomore, backing up Bo Jackson on another possession for the Shamrocks. Shamrocks are up 12-0 with 4:53 left in the ball game, showing a new QB. And now Lewis is talking to the referees about what was going on that last play. That was quite strange.
Well, Aiden, nonetheless, I've got to get your opinion on this. What do you think the Cubs need to change that they haven't adapted to already in order to try to come back in this game?
They need to respond. They get these big plays going. They put together these great drives, but they can never finish them. What they need to do is they need to finish the job. They need to put the ball in the end zone. They need to break the plane. They do such a good job getting the ball down the field, but they need to, get points on the board. The point of football is to score more points than the other team, and U of D has not done that to this point.
Yeah, that is typically how you win a game, Aiden.
I am a big believer in scoring more points than the other team.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to concur with that. Scoring points usually beneficial to the overall team.
Skylar Hunter ready to take his first snap against the Cubs. He's got 3 men to his right, 1 man to his left, 1 man in the backfield, as there is yet again more confusion. Ryan, we're definitely playing a Catholic League game.
Yeah, after this weird sequence, I'm kind of interested to see where teams are going to go. They basically got a free timeout. It was almost like a commercial timeout at the professional level, so it gave both teams time to figure out what to do. So I'm interested who that's going to benefit more, the offense or the defense.
Ball's handed off the middle. Evan Hager. Hager is wrapped up by a lot of guys, but brought down by none. He gets the ball to the 48-yard line after a big play for the Shamrocks.
Yeah, that is tough to watch. The exact thing that killed him in the first half, now killing him again. They did not bring him down. They had at least 5 guys get to the ball carrier, and they just couldn't finish the job. I know you were talking about the offense finishing the job, but I think the defense needs to finish their job too.
They always seem to be at the right place at the right time, but they can't seem to do it. Now Hunter in the shotgun formation puts a man in motion. Hand off to Blakita. And Blakita is brought down by Michaelin Bradshaw. Gain of about 5 on that play.
You know, the thing I'm finding hard to fathom is the fact that they've got the backup quarterback in the game. You would think that would be more of a sign of a run-heavier scheme. I don't know how confident CC is with their backup quarterback slinging the ball downfield. So you'd like to see U of D be a little bit more aggressive here. Maybe send an extra guy or two, try to get some pressure, try to make a big play happen.
Hunter talking to his offensive line, getting him ready for the play. 3 men to his left, 1 man to his right, 1 man in the backfield. Hunter gets a snap, play action, QB keeper, and he is wrapped up but not brought down. Hunter has running room, and he is brought down by Jason Brown, but not before gaining 12 yards on that play, but there is a flag.
Well, you know, I noticed one of the linebackers blitz. They sent 5, but they still couldn't bring the quarterback down. It looks like they could have had him for a loss. When he broke that, maybe bring him down at the line of scrimmage, but he still turned that into over a 15-yard gain.
Now, that was a frustrating one. When you get his legs, when you wrap him up in the backfield and he breaks through, it's just frustrating. Lots of arm tackles being broken today by the Shamrocks. And they're moving the ball up more. I believe they might have called a horse collar tackle or a defensive hold or something. Shamrocks have the ball in striking position, Cub 20-yard line. Skylar Hunter, the quarterback.
Well, this is a big drive here, a big set of downs for the Cubs. They've really got to get a stand. They have struggled this drive. After looking good to start the second half, they've been struggling.
Hunter with another QB keeper. He's got room to run, and Jason Brown brings him down again. Gain of 11. Move the ball to the U of D 4-yard line. Make it 1st and goal.
Well, I'll tell you what, you were talking about how speed kills with guys like Dotson and Enix. Hunter really showing how speed can kill. Just not able to catch up to him right now.
Frustrating as a Cub fan watching CC's seemingly one-dimensional offense run all over us. Like to see the run game be stepped up just a bit. Skylar Hunter in the shotgun formation. He hands the ball off to Hager. Hager seems to get caught up by the turf monster. He falls forward, gets about 1. 2nd and goal.
Big break for the Cubs there. That looked like that should have been 6.
3:30 left in the 3rd. Love to see that. Lots of threes. Shamrocks still up 12-0, but are looking to score here. 2nd and 3 from the goal line. Hunter keeps it himself, makes a man miss, and he falls into the end zone. Call it 18-0 Shamrocks.
Yeah, it is rough to see the Shamrocks run the same play 3 times in 4 plays, and the Cubs just don't have an answer for it. It's going to be tough now for the Cubs offense. They're going to be working from down 3 scores now, as they look like they're going to finally take their PAT for the first time this game, Aiden.
Yeah, obviously very frustrating. Cub run defense really struggling tonight. The secondary's done their job. No big passing plays. as the PAT is up and through. Shamrocks lead 19-0 with 3:15 left in the third.
It's going to be interesting to see how Coach Lewis tries to draw up an offensive scheme. They've had a couple plays that have worked. We saw early in the first half that when they were running that hurry up, running those trick counts, the weird plays that you can't scout, it worked really well. You've got to wonder, does he try to go back to something like that, or do they just try to move the ball downfield quickly?
I think you got to give a big pep speech to the offensive line. Get them working to give Carter time to drop back, throw the ball downfield. The receivers have been electric tonight. Let them be great. That's what I have to say.
Yeah,
There's talent on this team. Let it be great.
I completely agree. O-line has had a tough night so far. Carter's been pressured a lot. He's had to roll out of the pocket a lot. You definitely want to see the O-line step up. Give him some time to make a big play.
Dotson and Enix set to take the kickoff for the Cubs.
You know, I've noticed they've only kicked the ball to Enix so far tonight, and he's been making a lot of really good returns so far. So I wonder, maybe they give Dotson a chance.
And the ball is off. Enix looks to field it, fields it at his own 3, looks back, cuts up the middle, makes a man miss. He's got room, and he is brought down by a host of Shamrocks on the 23-yard line.
Yeah, that was a great recovery there for Enix. It looked like he thought he caught it in the end zone. Maybe was thinking about taking a touchback, realized he couldn't. Still, though, good return.
Yeah, obviously great, originally heads down, but turns it into a heads-up play. Interesting play for the Cubs. U of D offense been effective, but has not scored to this point. Lots of yards, not a lot of points. What do you got to say about that, Ryan?
Well, I've got to say the obvious. They've got to convert on this drive. I know it's obvious, but it is the blatant truth, and we'll see if they can do it now.
Carter drops back, looks to pass, has time, steps up, pressured, and he floats it, and ball is considered incomplete. Kind of skied it up to DC, Dakari Gilkey, but he was out of bounds before he was able to make the play.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, the O-line did a good job. They gave him time to try to make a play, just none of the receivers were able to get open there. We'll see how they try to respond now on 2nd and 10.
Carter joined in the backfield by DC.
Seems like there's a little bit of confusion here.
Yeah, a little bit of confusion. Seems to be a delay on 2nd and 10. Carter ready for the snap. Ball is off, drops back. Finds DC. DC tries to break it outside, gets a little bit of running room, and he is eventually brought down out of bounds after a gain of 3, call it 3rd and 7.
Well, and it seems even after all the confusion, the O-line was still not ready. I mean, there was a giant hole. CCD line hit that hole, and Carter was instantly pressured. It's tough to watch.
It is frustrating. Inconsistent offensive line play is obviously annoying. Confusion with something. Ball is being moved back. To be honest, Ryan, it does not help when the refs are not mic'd up.
That's true. It would be nice to hear what they're saying or what they're thinking, because all we're left to do is sit here and try to explain to you viewers what we're seeing.
Appears to be a holding call. Back Cubs up 10. Repeat 2nd down. Looks like it's 2nd and 22 now. Cubs need a really big play now.
Yeah, this is going to be really tough. They don't have much of a choice but to let this ball fly. And we'll see how it goes.
We shall see, Ryan. Carter drops back, looks to pass, has time, steps up, signals for a man, throws it downfield, no good. Tried to find Jordan Hearns, ball was a bit high, defense was good. Breakup by number 5, Jack Davis of the Shamrocks.
Yeah, that was almost a really good play. It didn't seem like he had anybody, but got it to his guy. It was just a great pass deflection by the corner to stop any ground being made up for the Cubs. And now with 3rd and 22, it's going to be really tough.
3rd and a mile now for the Cubs. Carter in the shotgun formation. Joined by Johnson in the backfield. 1 man to his left, 3 men to his right. Cubs still yet to show a tight end formation this game. Carter drops back, pressured, steps up. Calls for Dotson to move, and pass is high yet again. Dotson cannot make that play, and he is cracked. 4th and 22. It might be time for folks to punt it out of the back of the end zone.
Yeah, there's been a recurring theme of the passes just being a little too high all game. And as much as you'd think that that's the problem, I think more so the CCDBs have just been knocking the ball out. Every time it seems to get to those receivers' hands, the secondary is able to step up and make a big play. Receivers next drive are going to have to try to create a bit more separation for Carter.
Yeah, mildly frustrating. It is nice to see these guys who have speed catch the ball at their chest and make a move. When you see them jumping up, it becomes contested, and it's really hard to make a move in the air. But now folks set to punt. And folks' punt is off, no problem. Ball is fielded at takes a bounce. And it appears the Shamrocks touch the ball. The Cubs take the ball down the sideline. Oh my goodness gracious me, Caleb Canoe scores on a CC error.
Aiden, I can't believe what I just witnessed. That's a real head scratcher. You've got to wonder how the CC kick returner lets something like that happen. A huge momentum shift for the Cubs is now they're finally on the board.
Cubs with a huge momentum play, heads up play by Caleb Knuth, way to turn on the Jets and beat the returner down the sideline. Wow.
Aiden, it seems like the refs don't even know what we're watching.
Ryan, it appears this whole game the refs never know what's going on.
Wow.
CC did make contact with the ball, and it did appear that Caleb Knuth returned it for a touchdown. It did not seem that black and white to me.
Yeah, and I wasn't going to make the comment about the refs, but you did it for me.
Now, oh my goodness.
Oh, don't tell me they're going to take it away.
And they took it away. Lousy call from the refs. That's just embarrassing. It was very flagrant, very blatant that the first guy to make contact with the ball was a Shamrock. And now...
Well, it's the curse of high school football. Unfortunately, we don't have replay review, so whatever the refs think they saw, that's the decision, and that's what happens. And unfortunately, Cubs are going to have to try to get the momentum back.
Ball is handed off the middle. Gain of about 4 on that one. Call it 2nd and 6. And instead of U of D kicking the ball off right now, being down 19-7, the Shamrocks now have possession on the Cub 41-yard line.
Well, and you know that's going to hurt the heart of every Cubs player on the field and on the sideline. But they're going to have to stay tough as the third quarter comes to a close.
Hunter passes incomplete. 3rd and 6 now. A little bit of a play action screen. Ball was high, missed him at about 5 yards away. 3rd and 6 now for the Shamrocks.
Well, Aiden, this is going to be a huge 3rd down. They have the opportunity to get the Shamrocks off the field fast and give the Cubs offense a chance to get those 6 points back.
Skylar Hunter on his 3rd and 7 play. 3 men to his left, 1 man to his right, 1 man in the backfield, 1 tight end. Ball's handed off up the middle, and it is swallowed alive by the Cubs. Cubs shedded every known block known to mankind the entire Cub defensive line staff was on that one. I think I saw some guys from the sideline.
Yeah, that's exactly what you need to see in this stage of the game. Now, you know this territory in high school football. This is the no man's zone. This is where you typically see teams always go for it because it's too far away for a field goal and it's a little too close for a punt. So now the Cubs are set up with a huge 4th and 4.
Yeah, 4th and 4, 4th and 5 now for the Shamrocks. Hunter drops back, looks to pass, pressured. Hunter steps up, runs, picks up the first down, and runs out of bounds at the Cub 22.
Great vision there for Hunter. He saw the hole. No one was open. O-line kind of created a hole for him, and he hit that hole like a running back. He's fast, he's athletic, and he was able to pick up a huge CC first down. That is really going to hurt the Cubs.
Yeah, that one's a real heartbreaker. Had him all locked up on a 4th and 5, and the quarterback squeaks loose. Gets 15. 1:01 left in the third. Shamrocks lead 19-0. Hunter drops back, looks to pass, finds a check down man. He is instantly brought down by number 5 for the Cubs, Jazir Rahman.
Yeah, that curl route was all they needed. He created plenty of separation, gave them a good yards. It got the clock moving, and I think since they've passed the last 2 plays, it might set up a run. You got to hope the Cubs are ready for it.
Hunter looking to the sideline for the play call. Joined in the backfield by number 14, Spencer Lyons. Ball handed off to Lyons. Lyons brought down probably short of the first down line. Call it 3rd and 1.
Well, that's exactly what we were hoping to see. They did end up going with the run. Luckily, U of D was able to stop the first down, though. Can't let off the gas pedal on a 3rd and short.
3rd and 2, and it appears the Shamrocks will take it to the 4th quarter. Put up your 4s, Ryan. It's the last quarter of this game.
Yeah, Cubs are going to need to get rowdy. That student section needs to get involved. The Cubs are going to need a huge 4th quarter, down by 3 scores. It's going to be tough, but you hope the Cubs pull something out of the magic bag to come back in this game.
Obviously you do, Ryan. It'll be a tough one, but if anybody can do it, it's our Cubs.
That's for sure. And what do you think they need to do in order to pull it off?
I think they got to air they got to air the ball out. They've done it successfully. They've gotten these big plays, but either they get overturned, they get overruled, they get a bad call, or they can't just punch it in. And that's why they've gotten shut out to this point.
Makes sense to me, Aiden. Do you think they avoid the run? The runs up the middle have been looking pretty good. Do you think it's too late to try to keep the ball on the ground in the 4th quarter?
Oh, no. Obviously, you got to keep them honest. Got to have a few run plays just to keep them honest. But you do have to air the ball out, get some play action in there. Get them to bite, run it the first 2 downs, get them to bite, air it deep. Find one of your fast guys halfway down the sideline.
That's for sure. Those vertical routes down the sideline have worked pretty effectively for the Cubs, but they've only really run it, 3 or 4 times. And two of those ended up with big gains, so hopefully maybe we see that in the 4th quarter.
3rd and 1. Hunter in the shotgun formation. And ball is dead. Whistle is blown. I don't know what the problem is.
I'm not sure either. The refs have seemingly been pretty confused throughout the game.
Cub faithful getting loud, and arguably their last chance to keep this game close. And Lions is, let's see where they mark them, hopefully short.
This looked like a first down to me, Aiden.
It looked like a first down. I was just trying to keep it honest, Ryan. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, Aiden, I mean, at this point, it's looking pretty bleak for the Cubs. They're going to need a big stop, and they're going to need it right now if they want to get back into this game.
Hunter in the shotgun formation. Cub faithful getting loud, putting all that they have left in this play. Hunter drops back as time, but he is pressured quickly. And Edrin Cross eats him alive, eats him for breakfast. Edrin Cross, great guy. was reading Oedipus Rex the other day, read as Oedipus. Wonderful play, wonderful performance by him in school and now on the field.
Well, it seemed like he dumped a bit of Taco Bell hot sauce on that breakfast burrito, eating the quarterback alive. Maybe it was more of a wrap because he seemed to wrap him up well there.
I don't know, but that quarterback's going to be feeling that one in his back tomorrow. Edgerrin is a big man. Hunter in the shotgun formation now. Cub faithful getting loud. This might be their last chance. Hunter drops back, instantly pressured, lobs one, and it is broken up, incomplete, 3rd and 12.
Well, that was the exact type of play we needed to see. He had 2 guys coming right at him. The corner did a great job of breaking that pass up. This is exactly the type of momentum shift the Cubs need this late in the game now on a 3rd and long.
Hunter now looking to the sideline. Looking for the play call.
Well, Aiden, I don't know about you, but I'm thinking pass here, so hopefully maybe they send an extra linebacker, try to get some pressure on the quarterback, try to disrupt this pass if they end up going with it.
Hunter hands the ball off on 3rd and long. Cross is ready for him, though. Lyons tries to get it outside, and he is forced out of bounds by number 9 for the Cubs, Tyler Sankowitz.
Well, that says a lot about this CC team. They were willing to run the ball on 3rd and 14. It seems like they are content with the field goal that'll put them up with 22 unanswered points. That is a tough score to come back from with 10 minutes left in this game.
Hopefully some kind of block or miss could fire up the Cubs and get them ready, get them back in this game.
Yeah, this looks like it's going to be about a 34-yard field goal, so it's no gimme.
Ball is up, and it is close. Referees say it's good. Shamrocks take a 22-0 lead with 10 minutes left in the 4th.
Yeah, that kicker's got a bit of a leg on him. That one looked like it was good from about 45, Aiden.
Yeah.
Well, 22-0 is obviously no gimme comeback, Aiden. How aggressive do you think they need to be on this drive to try to get on the board?
You know what, at this point, I believe it might even just be for moral points. This Cub offense does not want to get shut out after playing pretty good this entire game.
Yeah, that's for sure, Aiden. There's not many positive points to call out on this Cubs offense here today. It's just been rough. The fact that every time it seems like they get something going, it's just been shut down by the CC defense. And I think you got it right when you said they're playing for some moral points here.
10 minutes left in this ball game. Dotson and Enix deep, not changing anything up. They've been great to this point. And ball is off. And the ball is out of bounds. Illegal procedure. Cubs will take over at probably the 35-yard line. That's the rule, right?
Yeah, I believe so, and that's a really good spot to start this drive. Now they've got some room to work with. They're not backed up, so hopefully they'll feel a little bit more comfortable, and maybe, just maybe, the offense gets some points on the board.
I'd like it to be anything. I don't care if it's 3. I don't care if it's 6. I don't care if it's 7. I don't care if it's 8. I hate seeing my team get shut out.
I got to agree, and anything counts at this point. If they can find any positives heading into next week, maybe it comes from this drive right here.
Well, Ryan, I will say, if they don't score any points, this might be the most impressive shutout by an offense I've ever seen.
Frankly, I think you got that right on the nose. I mean, the offense has been moving. They had a couple of drives where they moved the ball over 70 yards. And they just couldn't finish one time with the interception. I mean, you like to see an offense getting the job done in the red zone.
Anwar Carter set to take the ball. Johnson joins him in the backfield.
good to see the student section still standing.
Still a lot of people left in this almost over game. Cubs taking their time. Whistle's finally blown. Carter could take the snap. Shotgun formation. Cubs show their first tight end of the game. Carter drops back, absolutely launches it for Dotson. Dotson is no good. A lot of fighting on that play. Dotson kind of pushed. The other guy pushed back. Ball is dead.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of looked like pass interference could have gone either way on that. It was an aggressive play for the ball, but I got to say, and I don't mind watching the refs letting the boys play.
Neither do I, Ryan. Neither do I.
It's good to see the Cubs be aggressive late in the game. You know, they're not quite giving up yet, as bleak as it may look, with 9 minutes and 50 seconds left in the fourth.
Carter in the shotgun formation. Johnson joins in the backfield. 3 men to the left, 1 man to the right. Ball is off. Johnson gets the ball. Johnson has room to run. He's pushing guys, even though he's got guys on his legs. Gets 13 on that play. Grown man run by Nick Johnson there.
You took the words right out of my mouth. He stood tall, and he was not going down until the whole swarm jumped on top of him. It's a big play there.
And now it appears to be number 70 for the Shamrocks. Aiden Lemieux is down. Now, Ryan, he might play for the other team, but you do hate seeing injuries no matter what the sport, no matter what the position, no matter what the age.
It's always tough to watch a young man and just a high schooler risking their lives on the football field. You can always get hurt at any point in a football game, though it's good to see him walking it off right now.
Cub offense, looking to get back on the field. .9:45 left in this ball game. Carter in the shotgun formation, joined by Johnson.
Solid field position here with a new set of downs.
Carter drops back. Design QB keeper. Gets about 3 on that play. 2nd and 7.
Yeah, he had a hole, but it was just a good tackle by the D lineman, stopping that from turning into any bigger of a gain.
Ryan, this game may be close to over, but I do have to say it's a lovely night. It's 8:58, 73 degrees out. It's a great time to be playing football, Ryan.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is the perfect atmosphere for any game, no matter how your team's doing.
That might be a win for the Cubs. Nice weather day. As Carter hands the ball off to Johnson. Johnson looking to make his own run. He's still running. Breaks a tackle. Oh, my goodness gracious me. Falls at the 28-yard line. Nick Johnson telling the Shamrocks, we may be down, but I am a grown man.
Yeah, Nick Johnson's not letting this team go down without a fight, breaking 4 or 5 tackles on that play. If anybody is going to get points on the board, Nick Johnson's going to make it him.
And the Shamrocks jump off sides. They got a little too excited. Cubs still showing discipline late in this game. It'll be 1st and 5 on the Shamrock 19-yard line.
Well, you know, this is exciting. I'm seeing some positive signs in this Cubs offense. Even when they're down big with not a lot of time left, they're staying disciplined and they're fighting. But now they find themselves in the dreaded red zone. They've struggled here today. We'll see how they can do this time in the red zone.
Ball on the 24. Carter drops back, looks to fire. Fires for the end zone. Has Dotson, no good. Throws him just over his head yet again. Had Dotson, the sophomore, in the end zone, but missed him by about a foot.
You know, Aiden, I thought I saw a little bit of early contact there from the DB as that ball came in. I mean, I guess those refs are letting them play, aren't they?
They really are today, Ryan. Carter looking to bounce back. 2nd and 5 from the 24 after the false start penalty. Neutral zone infraction. Carter takes the snap, drops back, looks to fire, finds Johnson. Johnson wrapped up.
Yeah.
He's still trying to fight. Might have gotten a few on that one, but not many.
Yeah, there was a bit of a dirty hit there in the quarterback late in that play. He plowed Carter in the backfield long after he let that ball go. So the Cubs now are going to get an automatic first down. Good field position. This is by far the best chance they've had all game to put some points on the board.
It'll be first and close to the goal line after a Shamrock dirty hit. Carter was defenseless. The ball was off. That was a clear late hit, roughing the passer call.
And yet the refs still seem like they were a bit confused. They were talking about it.
And now they're starting to move the ball. You love to see it.
Looks like they're at around the 11-yard line here. You've got to put the ball even through the goalpost at this point. The score needs to change off of 0 here with this incredible field position and a first down.
Johnson gets the ball up the middle, gets about 2 on that one. Call it 2nd and 8.
Well, you know, it may not have been the perfect run, but at least they're moving the ball forward. It's better than the interceptions they have thrown in the red zone earlier in the game.
Cubs deep in CC territory on their own, on the CC 9-yard line, looking to break the shutout. Carter in the shotgun formation, 3 men to his right, 1 man to his left. Johnson in the backfield. Carter drops back, looks to roll, steps up. Oh, and he is pounded. And now CC taunting Anwar Carter, up 22 late in this game. Very unsportsmanlike play. You don't like to see that after Carter got blown up.
Yeah, that was a bit of a testament to how this whole game has gone. The second the Cubs started to get some momentum, CC starting to make some big plays, trying to shut it down. But you were right there on sportsmanlike conduct on CC. I believe that's an automatic first down for the Cubs.
It is. The ball will be moved up closer to the goal line. Ball on the 5. Cubs need to get it 5 yards in 4 plays, Ryan. They need to break this shutout with 7 minutes left in the game.
You know, Aiden, I would like to think the Cubs are capable of getting this one in the end zone.
I know they are. They just got to do it, Ryan.
It's all about getting it done.
Carter tucking his jersey back in after that big hit. Officials, yet again, confused.
Yeah, I'm not even sure what to say there, Aiden. I'm a bit confused here. I'm looking on the sideline. It looks like they're ruling it 2nd down. I'm not sure that's how the rules of football work.
It may not be, but they are how they're working tonight. Oh, it's 2nd and 5, not quite 2nd and goal as Carter drops back, fires to the end zone for Dotson. Dotson has it. They call it touchdown. Touchdown, Cubs. But there is a flag on the field after Dotson makes the toe tapping over the back play. The electric sophomore who's really carried the brunt of the Cub offense with Nick Johnson tonight.
Yeah, that is an absolutely incredible catch. Physical play on the ball. Refs have been letting them play all day. Dotson gets physical like a grown man. He goes up and brings that ball down, gets his feet in bounds, and finally, with 7 minutes left in the game, the Cubs are on the board.
McGrail to attempt the extra point.
Interesting.
7 minutes left in this game.
Interesting that Jezraoui not in the game, right?
It is interesting. I've heard rumors about who is going to start this game. Looks like Lewis decided to go with McGrail, the day 1 starter. Ball is down, and the ball is through the uprights. Cubs make it 22-7, and Ryan, I can't say that was nice to see.
That was nice to see. It's been long awaited. We've been struggling trying to watch this offense move the ball, but you know, even if they end up losing this game, it's good to see that they finally have some sort of positive going into next week.
It is good to see Dotson have a play he could add to his highlight reel. That was a sweet grab.
Yeah, Dotson really has been electric tonight. Him and Nick Johnson, 2 dudes that have really been making some big plays. I've got to say, I think if there's any flaw in this offense right now, it's really just the O-line.
Yeah, the skill positions have been good to this point. Anwar's missed a few throws, but the offensive line has not given as much time as he needs. As the Cubs will finally kick off after scoring, and that's just relieving to say, Ryan.
Yeah, I don't think I can talk too bad about the O-line just because that catch by Iannuzzi in the first half was pretty incredible.
That was pretty sweet, Ryan, I will say.
So
We should not say poor play, but inconsistent play.
yeah, I mean, they have had a couple really good plays where Nick Johnson has had a huge hole to work with, those runs where they picked up 15, 20 yards. You can't ignore that. You can't pretend like that didn't happen, but you would have liked to see that same result all game.
You would like to see that consistently throughout the game, but, like we said, inconsistent. As it appears somebody's taking a timeout with 7 minutes left in this game.
Yeah, not sure why anybody would need a timeout on a kickoff. I guess the Cubs are going to try to draw up some sort of game plan. I'm not sure if they want to try to get this ball back or if they just want to kick it off. They've got 7 minutes. They only need 2 touchdowns. One of those touchdowns would have to be a 2-point conversion. I wouldn't say it's too out of reach yet if they can somehow get the ball back here.
I'd love to see a nice onside kick recovery, make it a one-possession game after a touchdown.
So the question for you, Aiden, do you trust the defense or do you try to get this ball back?
You get this ball back, Ryan. There's no choice. If you don't get the ball back here, the game's over. If you do get the ball back here, Ryan, we might be right back in it.
Oh, I would be pumped to see an onside recovery here for the Cubs. This is what we've been waiting for.
McGrail, the kicker. See if we get some trickery here. And Shamrocks recover on their own 46, 47-yard line.
Yeah, that was a good job by the hands team. That ball took a bit of a nasty bounce, hit him right in the chest. Good job to control it and fall on top of it. That's going to make it tough for U of D to mount any sort of comeback.
Yeah, like we said, Ryan, even if it's just pride points, I'd like to see this defense get another stand. I'd like to see these guys put some pressure on the QB late in this game.
Yeah, the score may not reflect it, but overall, I don't think this truly has been that bad of a U of D performance. The offense moved the ball well. The defense had a couple set of downs where they looked really dominant. So there has been some positives, even if U of D's losing.
Jackson back in the game, hands the ball off up the middle. Evan Hager. They're going to let this clock tick. 6:40 left in the game.
Yeah, the U of D defense cannot allow a first down on this set. If the Shamrocks get a first down, I mean, you've got to think this game is out of reach.
Special thanks to our cameraman, Xavier Evoy. He's done a wonderful job tonight, and we love having him on the broadcast. You will hear him later this season, even if it's not tonight. Jackson hands the ball up at the middle, has Hager. Hager might have gotten the first down on that one, might be short. They're marking him short, call it 3rd and 1 now.
Yeah, Shamrock's run game seems to be a bit dominant right now with a 3rd and short. It's gonna be tough to stop the first down here. Oh, refs changed their minds.
Changed their minds yet again. Another theme of the game. CC's great run game and the referees being indecisive. Shamrocks now on the Cub 43, looking to score now. Jackson hands the ball off the Lions. Lions tries to bounce it outside. Has a bit of running room. Has a lot of running room, and he is shoved out of bounds by number 21 of the Cubs, Mr. Kavan Piag.
Well, Aiden, the morale points just took a hit there. If they were at a 50, I think they might have just been bumped down to a 45. I mean, that is not what can happen late in a game when you're already trailing. You can't give up big runs on the ground like that. The clock is moving, and CC is in great field position now.
5:30 left in the game. Bo Jackson under center. He's just trying to kill time. Lions in the backfield. Man, I really wonder who's going to get the ball. It's Spencer Lyons. Lyons tries to bounce it outside, cuts it back in, and looks like he's just short of the first down. 2nd and 1.
It's pretty hard to fathom how U of D hasn't figured out the run game yet. You know that this whole drive they were going to pound the ball on the ground. You knew it was going to happen, but the Cubs just still don't have an answer for it.
And the Cubs taking a timeout here late in this game, down 22-7 on their home field with 5:13 left in the ball game.
Well, Aiden, based on what we've seen tonight, what do you think the Cubs need to take into next week's game based off of how they've performed tonight?
I think we need to work on consistency all around. I think there's different. Every unit has shown flashes of greatness. We've seen great plays on the pressure. We've seen the defensive backs, who've been great all game, lock up. We've seen great special teams play. We've seen great quarterback play from Anwar. But we need to get it every snap. We've seen flashes of greatness, but we need to be able to capture that greatness and perform it every play.
Well, and champions don't give up late in games. They keep fighting, and you'd love to see the Cubs keep that mentality that every snap counts towards getting better, that even when you're losing, you can get better. And hopefully the Cubs adopt that philosophy here late in the game.
Like you said, there's obviously still a lot to learn left in this game. There's always more to learn in football and in life. As Bo Jackson is in the shotgun formation. Jackson's joined by the Lions in the backfield. Jackson looks at the sideline, under center. Hands the ball off to the Lions. Lions picks up the first down, gets about 3. He ran backwards, and then they blew it dead, and generally confusing play there. They'll probably call it, they'll call it a gain of 3. First down, Shamrocks move the ball to the Cub 13-yard line.
Yeah, Cubs defense still struggling to wrap up this late in the game. Something that seems simple, wrapping up in the open field, tends to be a lot harder than you'd imagine, but you hope that the Cubs can really perfect wrapping up the tackle come late season.
Jackson hands the ball off to Lions. Lions bounces off a few men, and he is taken down at the 2-yard line. That was a big play. Lions might be a little skinny, but he showed some backbone on that one. Moves the ball to the 2-yard line. 2nd and goal, Shamrocks.
Yeah, watching CC just constantly run this ball, it's almost like watching Barry Sanders or those really good running backs that can just get the ball nonstop and keep performing. It's almost like that's what we're witnessing here today.
Bo Jackson under center yet again. Lions in the backfield. Wonder who's getting the ball, Ryan.
I'd never guess.
Handed off to Lions, and Lions is brought down short of the goal line. Call it 3rd and goal now for the Cubs.
Oh, looks like I'm not sure what's
They're
happening
calling
here.
A fumble, and they say the Cubs recovered it. Great goal line stand, heads up play by number 7 of the Cubs, Mr. Ian Conal. Great play there, able to poke the ball loose, pick it up. And now the Cubs have the ball down 15 with 3:46 left in this game.
Aiden, I'm not even sure what I watched. I thought I saw a man tackle a CC player for no reason. I had no idea the ball was loose. I mean, that is a huge play. I know there's only 3:46 left in this game, but if they can put together some quick big hitters, game's not over.
Game's not over. Big play here. Onside kick, get the ball back, score it again. Game is not yet over. Hands the ball to Johnson up the middle. Johnson gets 6 on that one. Great run by him. 2nd and 4 for the Cubs now.
I like that Coach Lewis is trusting the run game, but he's running out of time. This offense is going to have to move quickly if they want to run the ball this late in the game.
Clock moving, 3:25 left in the game. Anwar Carter drops back, he's in the shotgun formation. Snap is low, picks it up, fires it deep for Dotson, his favorite target, and it is slightly overthrown. Dotson cannot pick that up.
You know, that play may not have worked out, but it was hard not to notice an incredible block there by the running back. It looked like Anwar was going to get blown up. Running back made a great block, gave Anwar time, just couldn't quite get the big play they needed.
Now Carter back against the wall on his own 9. Carter in the shotgun formation. Johnson in the backfield. 3 men to his left, 1 man to his right. Carter still in the shotgun formation. Snap is low yet again. Screen pass to Enix. Enix cuts it back up the middle and still up, but he's eventually taken down. Gain of maybe 2 on that play. 4th down Cubs. Ryan, it's too late in this game to be punting. Got to see the Cubs be aggressive.
True, but at the same time, do you really want the chance of failing to convert on 4th and giving up another touchdown?
If you don't pick up this first down now, I believe the game's over, Ryan.
It's fair enough, Aiden.
Shamrocks making adjustments on the defensive line as Carter hands the ball off to Johnson. Johnson gets the first down, gets 3 on that one, moves the chains. Clock is still ticking though, 2:35 left in this one.
Yeah, it's been hard not to notice the fact that this CC team has been great at adjusting to the Cubs' game plan. I just don't feel like the Cubs have been adjusting their playbook enough to get on the board. They run a lot of the same plays.
Carter pressured, rolls to his left, fires, finds Hearns. Hearns cuts the ball upfield. Gain of 9 on that one. Great catch and run by Hearns.
Yeah, Anwar has done an incredible job of throwing on the run all night. He's really had to escape the pocket a lot. He's been getting pressured a lot. And the fact that he's been able to roll out of the pocket and really make some incredible plays on the run, it shows a lot of potential for him at quarterback.
Carter in the shotgun formation. 3 men to his left, 1 man to his right. Johnson in the backfield, drops back, fires to Johnson to the flats. Johnson turns and runs. Johnson gets 8 on that play. Great catch and run by Johnson. Now Hearns did actually pick up the first down on the last play, so it's 2nd and short for the Cubs now.
Well, Aiden, I've got to say, it's pretty interesting to see U of D running all of these short pass and run plays. It seems like plays you'd use early in a game to try and get a drive started. However, it seems like it's marching them down the field late in the game. What do you think that says about this Cubs offense?
I wonder if Lewis has said, I don't know if we're going to win this game, but I want to score again. He's putting together a methodical drive. Not really what you need if you want to stay in this game, but I think he does want to put points on the board at the end of the day.
You know, I think at the end of the day, it's not so much about winning at this point, but it's about learning. It's about getting better. And I think it's almost like they're working on these simple plays that can help them get better in game situations. It's hard to model a game situation in practice, so working on these simple plays and getting better at them can really help them get better towards the end of the season.
Great analysis, Ryan. I agree with you completely. Carter walks back onto the field with his offense. Ball on his own 36-yard line, excuse me. 2-minute mark has been broken in this game as Carter in the shotgun formation tries with a tricky count.
Seems like they might be mixing it up here.
Carter drops back, looks to pass, rolls, sends Johnson, launches for Gauman. Gauman is tripped up, and they call pass interference. That's going to be a big play, Ryan. If it's spotted the ball, Cubs are going to move the ball up to the 30-yard line after they tripped up Gauman on the deep ball.
Yeah, Cubs really got bailed out there. It was hard not to notice that when Carter rolled out, a lot of the receivers stood still. They didn't keep trying to get open. He had no choice but to try to let it fly downfield, and it looks like the Cubs might have gotten a defensive pass interference out of it.
Refs discussing, and it's actually 15 yards, not spot of the ball. Different rules in high school.
Well, it would be nice if they got all of those yards, but hard to complain about a 15-yard gain. Like you were saying, they have a chance to try to get a couple more points on the board.
Cubs move the ball in the CC territory now. Ball on the 48-yard line. Carter now. Shotgun formation now. 1:44 left in this game. Cubs down 15.
Yeah, they're going to need to get a lot of yards in bunches here.
Carter drops back, looks to pass deep. Fires for Enix deep down the field and incomplete. Pass is tipped, thrown into double coverage. That was a scary one there. Incomplete though.
Yeah, that was a good recovery there by the safety. It looked like Enix had created some separation on the corner, but the safety stepped up and made a big play to stop U of D from getting the big hitter over the middle.
Yeah, way to cover by the safety there. Great defense all around, but unfortunate break for the Cubs.
Yeah, they really would have liked to get that one.
Cubs down 22-7. Carter drops back, looks to pass, finds Dotson. Dotson picks up the pass, little high, but tackled inbounds. Clock is still running. Cubs hustling to the line. Everybody's calling for the ball. Center needs the ball now.
Wasn't an ideal pass there. A little wobbly, kind of lobbed it in there. It's really slowing down this possession.
Cubs get a bad spot as Carter is in the shotgun formation, joined by Johnson. Ball is off. Carter drops back. Fires for Dotson on the hitch route, picks up the first down. Clock is still running, though.
Yeah, that was well executed. Quick pass, got him the first down, got him a good chunk of yards. Let's see what U of D does now with a new set of downs.
Ball on the 36-yard line of the Shamrocks now. Cubs looking to score after a great hitch route by Dotson. Carter, 3 men to his left. Dotson to his right. Johnson in the backfield. Carter fires to Johnson in the flats. Johnson runs, cuts it back up the middle. Probably gets 10 on that play. First down. But now the Cubs going to call their final timeout of the game.
Yeah, it was a good gain, but I can't say I understand why he tried to cut that one back inside. With only 44 seconds left, you got to get out of bounds. U of D forced to use their last timeout.
Cubs could use a break after a lot of hurry-up offense. This water will be necessary.
You got that right, Aiden.
44 seconds left in this game. Cubs look to score, make it a one-possession game as it ends. Interesting play now.
Yeah, this has been a really promising fourth quarter for the Cubs. You would have liked to see this intensity and this good of a performance all throughout the game, but at the bare minimum, if you can take any positive, the Cubs are showing that they have fight, they have grit, they have a high motor, and that they don't give up. And that is something that is incredibly important for any high school football team.
First and 10 now for the Cubs. Carter, shotgun formation, 3 men to the right, 1 man to the left. Johnson in the backfield. Carter looks to fire, pressured. Ooh! Carter fumbled after a massive. Ooh, Ryan, that was.
Well, that exact play shows why left tackles get paid so much money in the NFL. The left tackle is crucial. Most quarterbacks are right-handed, and to get blindside popped like that, it's really hard to watch that happen, especially for a Cubs offense that finally had something going. That's the third time this game the Cubs offense started to get something going and then couldn't finish.
Ryan, I'll be honest, that was demoralizing.
Yeah,
It's hard to watch a guy I have a couple classes with who I see around the school get blown up like that and fumble the ball. Yeah, I just hope Anwar's all right. Hope he knows it's not his fault for fumbling that ball. That's just a tough one. Sad way to end this game.
Yeah, they can be pretty demoralizing, but at the end of the day, you got it right. It's all about the mindset and the mentality. I get that it's a tough loss. I get that they made a lot of mistakes, but the big thing is moving on, moving forward, and knowing that this was not a bad game. They had mistakes. They were inconsistent,
but there were a lot of positives to take away from this game, especially playing a tough opponent like Catholic Central.
Final score of this game, Shamrocks win 22-7 at Hazel Park. Time of finish is 9:25. Thank you all for joining us tonight. If you watch start to finish, we appreciate you greatly. Please follow us on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. We love to have you. More content will come. Thank you all for joining us. I'm Aiden London.
I'm Ryan Witt.
Go Cubs, and God bless.